different perspective.
In harnessing the enormous power of storytelling to shift mindsets and evoke emotions regardless of the medium of
Malik Afegbua, who is the CEO of Slick City Media.
Using artificial intelligence, Malik Afegbua creates powerful images showing elderly Africans on an imaginary runway.
So you know that at MS we always wanted to have an artist on stage. At each session you've seen dancers, you see people doing video. We all try to get art in the place because we think art is a fundamental medium also to transmit an information and also to influence people. So our next guest is making the headlines as you just saw. He lives in Nigeria and works on the power of AI to transform society. His goal is to combat misrepresentation and to promote inclusion through digital art using AI. So, he's the artist of this special edition on AI. Ladies and gentlemen, Malik Afegbua.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Malik. I'm a creative technologist, a storyteller, and a filmmaker based in Nigeria. And I'm here to speak to you about my project called the Elder Series. So the Elder Series is about putting older people on a runway that you've not seen them before, not just a runway, in spaces, in situations, pop culture, that you've just not seen them before. And the reason why I started doing this was not because of inclusion, like you saw there, it was not because of representation, but something personal to me. And that was literally the reason why, my mother. So one that people call a mommy's boy, proudly, I don't mind. And I lost my mom last year, and she was the strongest person I've ever known, never felt sick, nothing, up until she had a heart attack. And I was thinking about how can I connect? I didn't know how to deal with it, and I didn't know how to move on from that, you know? And normally, when I'm stressed, you know, I work in the film industry and I shoot TV commercials, high-budget TV commercials and documentaries and films. When I'm stressed, I like to create. I just create art for myself, not for anybody else, and that helps me distress, you know? And I thought about it. How can I connect back to my mother in a space where it's not marginalized or suppressed that she was in, because she was on life support for about 8 months, and I couldn't speak to her. So I said to myself, what's the best way to tell a story? And I understand the power of storytelling. You know, storytelling shaped our lives. You know, how we speak, how we dress, how we do everything is literally from storytelling. So I said, maybe this will help me connect back to her. But I don't want to think about my mother in a space where she was in. And our demographic, when you think about her demographic, you think about demographic in a care home, in retirement, in all of that. But I wanted to change the perception. And the only way I could change that perception was through storytelling. So I started to create, you know, the Elder Series. And this is part of the reason why I did it as well.
The inspiration behind creating the Elder Series is because of my personal relationship with my mother. Being so close to her, we talk like that every other day, and I was cut short last year when she had a stroke, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. So I turned into the art to, you know, find a way to express myself, and I just realized that a bunch of other people might be going through the same thing that I'm going through, which is why I decided to share the art with the world, and that's why the Fashion Show for the Elders was born, which is literally celebrating the elders in a way that is not marginalized or suppressed. The Elder Fashion Show is an event that celebrates the fashion and style of our senior citizens. It gives them the opportunity to showcase their unique fashion sense and personality, while also breaking the stereotypes of aging and beauty. This event is an important platform for our elders to showcase their talent and creativity, as well as to be recognized and appreciated for their contributions to society.
Now, I've been doing this for 16 years, telling stories with film, with documentaries and all of that. And I know how much time I spend in planning. I know how much time I spend in pre-production. But when it comes to AI, I found it very easy as in a term of it's a blank canvas. It was a tool for me and I could explore that too. And what that did as well was open many doors, make people think about old people in a different perspective, and think about approaching this tool in a different perspective as well. And when I created that thing, it went viral like you saw, And from the digital space, it became physical as well. We actually had real fashion shows with real old people. And the first one we had was in Amsterdam last year. And we had models that ranged from 60 to about 75 that worked on the fashion runway for the first time.
Put your hands together for our models and the design. Lovely.
That was the first time we saw it. But then again, we had another fashion show in December in Nigeria, a bigger stage. And I had models that were there from about 65 to 80. And this is that one. For the first time, we could see old people, elderly people on the runway, and they were actually happy to be doing something that was not, seen as what the world sees old people as, doing nothing, or just retiring, or just literally depressed. And let me take you back a little bit to the AI, using AI as a tool. Initially, when I tried to create this society with AI, I was getting very marginalized images. I was getting misrepresentation. I was getting, us as Africans looking as malnourished people and all of that. And that is because of the fact that AI has been trained on data. Every data that you see online, if you do a quick search on anything about Africa, it's probably something misrepresenting, and that is, normal. But I had to literally train the data set with my 16 years worth in the industry of my personal data for you to understand what we look like, how we dress, how we present ourselves before it actually started to create these kind of images that we see today. And that's the power of storytelling. So last year, while I was doing this, there was many debates about AI. I was getting people saying, no to AI, this is going to stifle your creativity, it is wrong, it's stealing from other people's. But I understand how this technology works. It is basically a tool, like every other tool in history. And every other tool in history could be ethical, used ethically or used unethically, depending on the user as well. So I chose to use AI for good, and this is what happened afterwards. So the power of storytelling can be very, 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 it shapes us. And I decided to focus on the Elder series as one, to speak for them, to change perceptions, to make other people include them in society. And in the past 2 years, I've been seeing the results of that on fashion runways in Milan to Paris to New York. Now we have people including older people on the runway in films, in commercials that you normally not see them, and in other spaces you normally not see them. So that's how powerful storytelling is. And today, it opened many doors for me to be able to work with big studios like Marvel Studios to create things for Cadbury and all of that. But in the past 16 years, I was doing everything from the traditional point of view. But the moment I added technology to it, it enhanced everything. So that's the power of tech, and that's the power of storytelling. Because I say storytelling can change the world, but now adding technology to it, your imaginations are endless. You could literally imagine anything and create anything. Because when I started, first of all, creating those people, I didn't have any references. There was nothing online to say, I want to use that to create that, literally nothing. So it was from scratch, I had to do that, and that's the power we have to create everything. So thank you to be here, and I hope I have not bored you too much.